Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. In just a few hours, it will be Shabbat over here. Shabbat, the last Shabbat of this month, of the month of Tammuz. And we're preparing for Rosh Chodesh, which is going to be, at least just this year, going to be next Shabbat. Next Shabbat is going to be the first day of the month of. And as the Rebbe stressed, that the month of is the worst month of the year. It's the month where the temple was destroyed and other tragedies also occurred. But the custom in Judaism is to call it Menachem Av, that God will comfort the month of Av, and exactly even more, the true comfort is only going to come because of the tragedies that occurred in Av. Everything will be transformed into light. How that's going to happen, I really don't have any idea, but it's going to happen. So the Rebbe is trying to give us a little bit of an idea, of exactly how to do it, how we're supposed to do it, how we're supposed to, what our part is supposed to be in this transformation. But before we do it, let's give it a little bit of an example of transformation, and that is take from our money and give it to the poor. So if you don't have any poor around you, so put it in a box and give it to someone that's poor, that someone doesn't have. Okay. Giving charity, it says, saves the Jewish people, saves the whole world. Give from what you have to others. Just like God has given everything to you, everything you have given to you. So there's certain things you can't give. I mean, you can't give away your eyes or your mouth or all these other gifts you have to God. But at least you can give away your money. And usually a person, when you give, as God gives you double back. So charity is a very important thing. Okay, so the Rebbe here is saying that now all this bad, and in fact, we've gotten so used to the bad, we don't even know that it's bad. Here we go. Very good. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 minute. There we go. Shalom. Good morning, Abba. Oh, very good. So we don't even know it's bad because we're so far away from what's good. But nevertheless, any second now Moshiach is supposed to come. And the implications of that is just like when the Jewish people divided the land of Israel up. So what's the difference between Israel and the desert? Huh? In the desert, they got everything free. That was like heaven on earth. Right? Wrong. In Israel, they could serve God completely the way that God wanted, on God's terms. That's the whole idea. Of higher than heaven, being able to live your life every moment the way God wants, why God is creating us. Okay, so that's what the Rebbe said. Therefore, every moment of your life should be thought, speech, and action should be devoted to the goal, which is to bring Mashiach. And Mashiach will educate the whole world and open everyone's eyes about how valuable every instant is, and every human being is, and every place is, and every moment is. And he'll teach us how to use and to see in every moment the preciousness of that moment, of the responsibility of the moment and the existence of the moment, etc. And that, says the Rebbe, was expressed by the fact that when the land was divided up, it was divided up by lots, and the lots really were not seemingly really necessary for dividing the land up. It wasn't urgent to use lots. The land was already divided up, it says, by Ruach HaKodesh, by heavenly inspiration. And also it says clearly that the biggest tribe got the biggest place. So why they have to do it by lots? Well, just to verify. It says, well, then the lots screamed out. Each lot screamed out its portion and its tribe that's going to live in it. That was totally unnecessary. Says the Rebbe, it's not totally unnecessary. It was to show the importance of even the means to a thing. The journey itself, and every instant of a journey is as important as the destination. Huh? So the Rebbe says, now we're standing in the month of Menachem Av. This is the Shabbat that in it we bless the month of Av. So we find in Revelation even more the real true intention of the exile that we're in. What does it mean, the exile that they're in? And he's referring back to the story that he said in the beginning of this speech, that someone came to the Tzemach Tzedek, that's about 150 years ago. A Chassid came to the Tzemach Tzedek, that Chabad was in the city of, in that time, the city was Lubavitcher, which is in white Russia. And he said, I want to go to the land of Israel. Will you give me a blessing? And he said, make here Israel. The Chassid said, I want to go to the land of Israel. It's the place of every Jew. It's a holy land. And the Tzemach Tzedek did not in any way deny that. But he said, you have to make here the land of Israel. So the Rebbe asked the question, this is in the beginning. How could he say something like that? Everybody knows that Israel is a geographical place in the world. It definitely is not in white Russia. They're not, in fact, just 1 meter outside of the boundaries of Israel is not Israel anymore. And here we have, what is that, 1,000 miles? I don't know how far away it is, 1,000 miles from Israel. How could he say make here Israel? So the answer to that is that Israel is not only a physical place. Israel is also a spiritual place, and even more, it's a godly place. God creates the spiritual and the physical. And if you want to go to the land of Israel, then you have to make yourself spiritual and even more godly. What's the difference between spiritual and godly? Spiritual means removed from the world, and godly means in the world the way that the Creator wants you to be. And eventually that's going to spread out the whole world, because the whole world is, God creates everything, not just the land of Israel, creates everything. But Israel is like the heart of the world, or the brains of the world, whatever. Just like the brains, life is more revealed in the head and the brains than anyone else in the body, but still the whole body is yours. It's precious to you. Same thing as the whole rest of the world is like a body. And Israel is the brain, says the Rebbe. So prepare yourself to go to the brains. Prepare yourself to go to the land of Israel. Make wherever you are Israel. Not just make your attitude or your mind, but even the place where you are, treat it as though it was holy, because every place potentially is holy. Then when you do that and act in the place where you are and make the place where you are, don't say that the whole world is just a big bluff and it's totally unnecessary and it's a big mistake. You just have to go to the land of Israel and that's it. You're in the land of Israel and you're fixed up. Says the Rebbe, that's not so. We are here in the world to fix up the world. And Moshiach will take us to the land of Israel. Don't worry about it. Or if you do want to go to the land of Israel on your own, then you have to go in a way that it's land of Israel. Don't take outside of Israel into Israel. You have to take Israel into the outside of Israel. And then you can, after you finish your job there, then you can go to the land of Israel. You want to. But Israel is not going to make you holy. Not going to make you holy. It's not going to do the work for you. You have to do the work. So what are we supposed to do? Here we go. Kevin says, but since that the Geula, the future redemption, where the whole world feels God, has not yet come, and because God's divine, the divine rulership over every detail, we still are found Khan here. In this place, the Rebbe is speaking, of course, in Crown Heights. So Bavade says certainly we have to use this in order to do what the Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek said, Asa Khan Eretz Israel, you have to make wherever you are the land of Israel. And again, to stress, the Rebbe is not saying that you should not go to the land of Israel. He's not saying that. Eventually, the goal of Mashiach is to bring every Jew to the land of Israel. But if you do go to the land of Israel, it should be on the Mashiach's terms. You don't have to wait for Mashiach to come to the land of Israel. But if you go to Eretz Israel, you have to go to Eretz Israel on Mashiach's terms. Namely, the Jews are God's chosen people, and the Jews are the sons of God, and the Jews are the wife of God, and the Jews are the soldiers of God, no matter where they are. And to realize what a Jew is. That was a big complaint of the Jews against Zionism, that they thought you could come to the land of Israel and that you don't have to be holy and the land isn't holy. The main thing is just come to the land. Just be here. You just live in the land of Israel, and that's it, right? And that's wrong. It's not so. It's not so. But and not only that, they accomplished making the land of Israel as unholy as possible, as unholy as possible. Okay, not to cry over spilled milk, but we have to fix that up by making it as holy as possible. In order to do that, we have to attach ourselves to God and holiness and the fact that we are servants of God and be servants of God and be sons of God and be friends to God and etc. No matter where we are, and not depend on the land of Israel to do it for us. Because if you do, then even when you get to the land of Israel, it's not going to work. You're going to still have, how do you say, what do they call it? Galut mentality. That's exile mentality. This was always used by the people that say, exile mentality means you want to be religious or something outside. Don't think religion will do it. The land of Israel is going to do it. That's not so. You have to have both of them together. The land is holy. And if you want to live in the land that's holy, you have to be looking for that holiness. You have to be attuned to that holiness. You have to want to bring that holiness out, not only to the land of Israel, but also to the whole world. So therefore make it, okay. So what are we supposed to do? Actually, what are we supposed to do? Hayom now, because we have to make wherever you are, make it into the land of Israel. Be holy, do Torah, do the commandments, be friendly, be practical, be industrious, be positive, no matter where you are. No matter where you are. Because this is a teaching of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, who he's the leader of our generation, and he advertised this. Lo Ayabagila, it was not really revealed to everyone, so it's understood. I'm sorry, before the previous Rebbe, it was not revealed to others. It was just a thing that the Tzemach Tzedek said to his pupils, just to Chabad. And the previous Rebbe advertised it to everyone, that wherever you are, you have to make it into the land of Israel. So it's moving, so it's understood that this is a teaching to every single Jew in our generation, and in fact, to everyone in our generation. Shekashurim kulam in Nasi, because everyone is connected to the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. He is everything. He is everything. He is the one that's teaching what true Judaism is. Judaism totally on God's terms. And especially we're now in the weeks which we are reading in the Torah about the dividing the land of Israel, where it's already prepared for the meal of the Moshiach, like we said, with the Leviathan fish and the Shor Habar, whatever is the pure ox. And we are on the edge, the doorstep to the land of Israel, and actually dividing the land of Israel simply. Eventually, all the Jews are really going to come to the land of Israel. So tzorech kol echad, each person has to add even more in his service of make here the land of Israel. Kol echad v'achad, each and every one, women, men, women, and children. Ubekomo b'matzavohu, however they are, lasod zod b'tachlit hashlemot, to make this complete in every moment, every place you are, in thought, speech, and action, just like they did with the lots. There was the lots, there was the intentional lots, and the lots called out. By means of this, the gula. Therefore, you should accustom yourself to the redemption. I mean, just think how ridiculous it is. We have the land of Israel, and we're giving it away. And who did we give it away to? Right? They gave away Gaza, whatever you want to call it, Gaza, our worst enemies, and we can't get rid of them. They want them to stay there. I mean, that's just totally insane. That's the opposite of Israeli mentality. It's the opposite of godliness, and it's the opposite of Mashiach, and it's the opposite of common sense, right? Because if you don't have the feeling that whatever you do is the way God wants, and that God is helping you to do whatever you want, and everything is exactly according to the Torah, then everything becomes all confused. Not only do you not make outside of Israel into Israel, you make Israel outside of Israel. They gave this away to the worst. I don't think any country in the world would give away a portion of their country to their worst enemies, to people that shoot rockets at them. Anyway, not to go into a painful thing. So therefore, what should we do to fix it up? To every single Jew, Yeshet Chelko has got his part in the world, And God put you wherever you are because he wants you to be there. Not necessarily doesn't want you to stay there, but he wants you to be wherever you are and to improve the place. And in your only way. Some people are businessmen, zvulun. Some people learn Torah. That's like Yisachar, and etc. Every different type of people. Some people like to pray more. Some people like to do good deeds more. Some people like to give charity more. Some people, yesh l'kol echad. Some people like to speak. They can speak better, and some people like to help. They give their money. They get. Each and every person has his job and his mission in the world. Kol echad nimsa. Everyone is found in a certain place in the world. That to him, that God brought him there. Wherever you are, that's where God brought you. Like it says that God, he directs the steps of everyone. Nothing happens by accident. And since that you have been sent specifically to this place, and therefore you're being sent there by God, and you should do what God wants. Similarly, but time, every single moment, every single hour, every day, every month, every year, every season. Everyone is here for a purpose. You are responsible to the creator of the universe to do, say, and think whatever will improve that place according to the Torah. That's what it means, make here the land of Israel. Even though wherever you are, you have to make Israel. Even though Shekol Nakuda, every detail of every place and every moment. Each the responsibility of each and every human being is only chelik katan. It's only a very small portion of the world. Call a makomot, call a zamanim, and a very small portion of time. Ulifamim, and sometimes a person can think, and right, logically so. Ketzad haya alav haya hu nimsa. How can it possibly be? Ketzad haya ilu haya hu nimsa b'makom acher. What if I was in somewhere else, some another time? Yitachen shavodasa. Maybe it could be that my service would be in another way. Right? There were Jews that were found in prison today. There's Jews that were found in Russia and in Siberia. There are Jews that, God forbid, that there's not Jews or people, human beings. Let's hear the Rebbe's talk about Jews. There are Jews that are, God forbid, they're sick. They're in a hospital. If the person could think, listen, if I was just somewhere else, if I was just in a better place, if I was just more healthy, if I was just someone, right? If I was a rich man, right? If I was just married to someone else, if I was just lived in a different town, if I had a different job, therefore, of course, a person can say that. Similarly, you can also ask a question. Since that I work as up to, I'm only, let's say I do what God wants, but it's just a little tiny place in the world and one little detail. How, Manav community, what is it so important how I act here? I'm just one of 8 billion people in the world, 9 billion people in the world, right? It's really going to have an effect. How much more so is it? What I do is going to have an effect on all time. And come on, right? Maybe big rabbis, maybe big holy people. And not only that, who says I even have to be here? And even more than this, a person can ask, how can you demand from me that I can bring the geula? I'm going to change the whole world. A geula klalis the kol olam. I'm going to affect the whole entire world. In the time when my service is just a little tiny part of the world. Omrim, therefore we can say to each and every Jew, Yesh lecha hora, you have a instruction from the leader of our generation, which is what? Forget about what everyone else is doing. You are being created by God, and you are alive, and you have free will, and you have certain abilities to do. Doesn't make any difference where you are. If you're in prison, whatever, you can at least think good. You can speak good. Asa Khan, Eretz Israel, make wherever you are the land of Israel. Someone has to do something good. You have to break the chain of bad. Everyone, let's say everyone else in the world is doing bad, right? So, and they do bad to you. So you figure, well, if everybody's doing bad to me, so I'm just going to do bad to others, right? I just have to get them before they get me. Dog eat dog, right? Says the Rebbe, someone has to change the whole entire chain of nature. wherever you are, right? You're found in Brooklyn, you're found in San Diego, you're found in whatever it is in the Brazil, you're found in Cape Cod, wherever you're found, right? In your little street and your little house and your little corner of the house, at least someone will make something good. You have to express not only in thought about where you are in the edge of the world. Don't think about another place or another time. Or if I was only had different friends, or if I was only had more money in the bank. You should be concerned only with one thing. Wherever you are, at whatever time you are, make there the land of Israel. In your individual place and in your individual instant, in fact, every moment. By means of this, you can bring about in the whole entire world, since because you're part of the world, includes the whole entire world. It's like if there's a big stadium, an indoor stadium, and the lights go out. So everybody, at first, let's say it's a moonless night, and the lights go out, and at first everybody sort of laughs, and then when it starts really getting dark, it really gets dark. And it starts to get dark. And let's say when you came in, you had to leave your cellular phone at the door. So nobody has any cellular phones. They have no way of lighting anything, right? And one person, he has a little tiny flashlight, and he lights it, a little flashlight. And there's 100,000 people in the room, right? And one person has one little light, and he lights it. As soon as he does, the crowd goes, "Oh!" One person has a light. And little by little around him, people's eyes adjust to the light. Maybe they can start to see things. And then people around them becomes a little bit less confusing. You lit one little light. So don't look at all the darkness of the world and think, how can I possibly change it? Your job is to do, say, and to think positively in terms of Moshiach. The whole world is eventually going to be perfect. And it's going to begin with me. Just like it was regarding the division of the land of Israel. Even though that each and every tribe and every family of each and every tribe received a certain portion of the land of Israel, each one and each portion of the land of Israel had its good qualities. It was the land of Israel. And on it says, Eretz Asher and it says that's the land that the eyes of God are on it from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And the rabbis say, Ein Eretz Yisrael Chaser Klum. The land of Israel isn't missing anything. Like it says clearly in the Torah, Lo Techsar Kolbo, nothing is missing in the land of Israel. Everything is here. Like the rabbis say, Ein Lecham Yisrael Shein Bo. Every place in Israel, there's a mountain, there's a low place, there's a desert. In Israel, it's a little tiny country, and it's got all of the different climates and all of the different areas, and it's quite amazing. We said, like it's understood like from this, that every single Jew has to say that for my sake the world was created. What does it mean for my sake? That the world was created for me to fix up. It was the word olam also means concealment. Shekiv and Shekol olam, since the whole world was created only for me, and not that everyone should serve me. Exactly the opposite. I have to fix up the world. Hari moving, so it's understood. Sheyesh b'kocho lepol b'kol olam. We have the ability to fix the whole world. Al yedei zeh, by means of this, that his particular place, kol b'tocho, includes the whole entire world. Like it says that the olam natan bilibo. Like it says, the world was put into the heart of man, each person. It's a sentence in Ecclesiastes. The world was put into the heart of each and every Jew. So you fix up yourself, and that'll fix up the whole world. Maybe not immediately, maybe not the way you want to. But nevertheless, don't look at the darkness, don't look at the failures, don't look at the negative things that happen. You have to look at only one thing. What can I do to improve the world now? What positive things can I do? Can I say? Can I think? And the world is always changing, and your situation is always changing, and you meet different people. And the weather changes and the time changes and you get older and you get this. It doesn't make any difference. Wherever you are, that's exactly where God wants you to be. And your responsibility is to fix it up. Even though that your services might be only in one thing. Let's say you're only good at praying. All you can do is give charity. like this is like the, for instance, like Jewish people that they passed away, right? They didn't finish their job in this world. Kivan Shekol Yisrael, since the Jewish people are all, we suppose that every Jewish people are good. We have to say that a Jew that passes away, she has done their purpose in the world. Even though even though they didn't do everything. They did only one thing, gave charity. Right? Generally speaking, people that pass away, at the funeral, at least after the funeral, whatever, in the Hasidim, they don't make eulogies. But nevertheless, they talk about the person, and the person afterwards, right? Person, he was a good person. He did some, even if he was not a good person, but he did something good. Did you know that he used to pray every day for everybody? Do you know that he used to give charity every day? Do you know that he used to help the old lady next door mow the lawn? Do you know that he used to, right? One little good thing is eternal. Hari be'emes kolel, this includes every single Jew inside of him, all of the different types of service of God. Like it's understood from this, that we say in Kriya Shema, we said, bein begil golzel, bein begil ocher. It says, before you go to sleep, you say, I forgive anyone that did anything bad to me, whether in this incarnation or in a previous incarnation. Because this is a proper reckoning. So it's understood that it's an ability of every single person, even to fix up previous incarnations. Therefore, he can do a proper cheshbon nefesh. You can say, once again, how could I get mad at people? What do you mean getting mad at people? I never got mad at anybody. Maybe I never stole. I never did anything wrong. So maybe not in this incarnation, but in previous incarnations. Judaism, by the way, believes in reincarnation. And what brings you into, explains in the Tanya that the soul comes into the world only in order to improve the world. And if you didn't do your service completely, then it comes into another body. It's a big secret. It's a big whatever mystery, whatever it is. And some people understand there's a book which is called The Gate of Incarnations, written by the Arizal, written by Rebbe Chaim Vital. According to this, so it's understood that the service of all of the incarnations that we have can join all together to serve God. And from this, it's understood that every single Jew, no matter what is her job in the world, and it doesn't have to be a major thing, just to think one good thought in one place or to say one good word to one person. It could be that's yesh b'kocho lasot, you can make wherever you are a holy land. Reveal God where you are. All Yadei by means of this, you can bring about in the whole entire world. Even if a person is Bal Esek Benyani Olam, even if a person is totally consumed in this world. Below Gaba Bebeit Knesset, and he's not like a sextant in the synagogue or whatever. He has a job, he has a store, right? There's a store where he sits and he sells, what is a hardware store. So B'meila Yocholohu, person can think, what connection have I got to make the whole land holy? I mean, the whole day I'm thinking about, my hardware store, and I have to buy products, and I have to fill my, see what's sold, buy new, replenish my stock in the store, and I have to make sure my workers do a good job, and I have to make sure that the lighting works, and I have to pay my bills. I'm involved the whole day with this. This is relevant, and maybe the people who work in the synagogue or big rabbis, something like that, they can do godly things. Says the Rebbe, you're wrong. Your job is wherever you are and whatever you do, you have to make godliness. A person that works in the synagogue or he learns Torah, so he brings holiness into the synagogue of the whole Torah. Your job is to bring it into your hardware store. In addition to this, that you can, and how do you bring godliness? Not that you come in and say to everyone, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, just say, hey, good morning, Mr. Jones. How you doing? How you feeling today? Right? It's a wonderful day. God is keeping us alive. Isn't this a great thing? Right? Just even one little positive word can save a person's life. And we're talking about Jews, non-Jews, makes no difference. It's all part of the creation. It's all exactly with the will of the Creator. And so therefore, you have to spread godliness in the synagogue, in the place of learning, and you can help, right? You have a business, so give money to the place of learning. Give charity. Harigam avoda, so prati is also your individual service. includes in it all of the details of serving of God in all of the land of Israel. According to this, now it's understood that every single Jew has the responsibility to bring the redemption to the whole entire world. Even since by means of this, that he makes his service, individual service, in a complete way, in thought, speech, and action, a feel of a prad, even in one little detail of a detail. But rega, just one moment, just one little place here, nevertheless, you have the power to transform the whole entire place to the land of Israel. And by means of this, to also bring the redemption into the whole world. It's something like if a person is sick, so sometimes they give them an injection, right? Injection, or people don't like take a little pill. A little injection goes into one little place, but that little one injection can make his whole body cured. Or one little pill can make a person cured. Right? The same thing. You can be that injection to inject a little bit of goodness, a little bit of positivity into the world. In simple language, that we are right immediately preceding the total redemption of the world, where everyone will feel the Creator. Therefore, every Jew has to accompany him and accustom himself, litragel, legeula, to the future redemption, and to make him put himself into a feeling of redemption. How do you do that? By means of transforming your time to a redemption time. Your hour will be a redemption hour. Your day is a redemption day. What does it mean? Nothing, everything is the way it's supposed to be. You see something that's not the way it's supposed to be, pray, fix it up. Fix it up. Something is hafichas makom prati, the Eretz Israel, wherever you are, make it into the land of Israel. And by means of this, you do your particular service in the ultimate completion, the thought, speech, and action. Like, for instance, you're given a house, right? And the house is it's all dirty and it's all dusty and everything like that. But because you have an idea of what the house is supposed to look like, so you start cleaning it up. And the walls are peeling, the paint is peeling, so paint it, you fix it up. Right? You know what it's supposed to, the same thing the Rebbe is trying to tell us, how the world is supposed to be. It's supposed to be positive, and you feel every moment, you appreciate every moment as a miracle. And every single instant you feel, wow, I have the potential to serve the Creator and to say a good word to somebody, or think a good thought to somebody, or do a good deed for someone. Right? Even if nobody even knows it, just to think to myself good words. I say a word of Torah, say another commandment, give charity. Right? Every single moment you appreciate, that's what everybody's going to do in the time of the Moshiach. And what about the negative things? So either you ignore them, surely you do not get involved in them, and you sweep out the house, you clean up as much as you can. But most of the bad comes from us ourselves, our bad thoughts, our bad. From this complete service of God in every single detail, in thought, speech, and action, this expresses also in speech, al derech hagorel, just like the lots which called out speech, shakiv and shehu chadur, because a person is, how do you say, permeated, it's filled in his innerness with Horah v'avodah, with his teaching and the service of make wherever you are holy, wherever you are, make it to the Holy Land, mitoch chayos penimi, in an inner life, is medaber hu odod zeh mitoch chayot kam lacherim, to speak about this to others also. A human being is called a speaker, medaber. So speak, say positive things, talk about Mashiach. Umafarsim, you have to advertise this teaching of wherever you are, make it into the land of Israel by, first of all, your family, by people who are close to you, friends, your pupils. You have to speak, talk. Anybody that you happen to meet. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says Mashiach is supposed to come in an instant. When Mashiach comes, you'll feel how much God loves you. But since this comes from the inside, therefore you say things that come from your heart. And when a person sees that you are genuine, then that person accepts your sincerity, and it affects him also, him, her. It has its effect. How much more so by means of this, that you show a living example in action. Not usually, talk the talk. You also have to know to walk the walk. You have to do what you're talking about. Be an example of what you want others to do. Ad shepoel shagam shomim, until the people that hear you, they will become speakers also. They'll become convinced and they will speak. The lot itself will speak. And regarding to action, what should we do? Immediately, Motzi Shabbat, this Motzi Shabbat, if Mashiach doesn't come before that, you should take care. You should, how do you say, take pains to advertise every place that you are, every place, in a way that it's permissible after Shabbos to do so. You should, the teachings of Aseh Khan Eretz Israel, make here the land of Israel. Advertise it. And you should continue to advertise this in all the days after Shabbat until you succeed to actually bring Mashiach. Then we'll draw the land of Israel. Then the Jews will go to the land of Israel simply. And we'll stop giving away lands. We'll stop giving away Nosaf al Atida. We won't care what the United Nations says and what America says and what this says. We'll care only what God says. In addition to the future of the land of Israel that will spread out to all the lands. How do we know what God says? That's what the Rebbe says. And especially one of the special things about making here the land of Israel, which is relevant especially to the 9 days, right? Starting next Shabbos is going to be the 9 days before Tisha B'Av. Those are the most severe, the times where the mourning for the temple is most strict. That begins, it begins not on next Friday, but next Shabbat by the Rebbe. In 1991, it was on Friday by us. It's on next Shabbat, not this Shabbos. Next Shabbos begins the first day of Av. Hu amina, you have to make siyumim. It's a custom in the last days to make a siyum. The Masechet Shas B'Kol Yom, to finish one tractate of the Talmud every day of the 9 days. Even if there's a lot of Hasidim, there's a general custom among religious Jews that in the 9 days, right before preceding the Tisha B'Av, from Rosh Chodesh Av until the 9th, they don't eat meat. We don't eat meat. You don't eat meat. Only on Shabbat we eat meat, but we don't eat meat. And so some people, what they do is they make they complete a tractate of the Talmud. When you do that, you can make a party, a festivity, whatever, and you can eat meat. We don't do that in Chabad, but there's other very, sincere and good Jews, and they do that. So the Rebbe said we should make find someone, every individual people, finish a tractate of the Talmud, and you do it in public. You do the last few words in public, and you say a special prayer, you make Kaddish, and then instead of making a meal where you eat meat, right? So you can, if you want to, make a meal where you don't eat meat. But the main thing is to finish a tractate from the first day of until Tisha B'Av, and also the day before Tisha B'Av, right? And then on the 10th day of Av, but often that's permissible according to the Shulchan Aruch. Well, from the reasons of Me'atamim B'Davar, why should we finish a tractate every day? Since on these days, we search for anything we can, how to add good things and happy things. And according to the way you're not supposed to play music in these days. The Aliyah Dezeh, by means of this, to reveal the good, the inner good, which is in the terrible descent and the exile that has been caused by these days, the destruction of the temple. Beginning what? One thing that makes us happy is the Torah. The laws of God are straight and they make us happy. Osin simcha legamora shatorah. You're happy when you finish a tractate of the Torah. Not because you're finished, but because what you've completed, right? All the body of what you just learned, you put it into your head. But because of this reason, so it's good to make a siyum also on Shabbat of Tisha B'Av, on the Shabbat of these 9 days. And in this year, on Shabbat also Beit Av and Shabbat, which of Tisha B'Av itself. By the Rebbe, Tisha B'Av fell on Shabbat. So to make it, And it was every day to finish a tractate of the Talmud. Yiratzon, may it be God's will. Sha'od kodem itchilut yomim elu, that even before these days begin, already the redemption will be here. And these days will transform to sasan v'simcha, to joy and rejoicing and holidays. And by means of this, the Jewish people make their service of make here the land of Israel complete. Litragel legula. Get yourselves used to feeling godliness wherever you are. And if you don't feel it, so create it. Create a good situation. Nichnas, take up a miyad mamish. You come immediately, mitoch rikud legula. Will dance with the future redemption. And you have no idea how the world changes if you smile. Very interesting thing. Very interesting thing. Before I finish this, it's a very interesting thing, which, I mean, to me is a very big mystery to this very moment. If you smile at a child, a baby that's, a couple months old, as soon as they can start to see, when the children start to see, when they're a month old, 2 months old, whatever, as soon as they have a little bit of a personality, I don't know, 3 months old, you smile at a child, he smiles back. So now the children, they don't know. They never looked at a mirror, and they know that if they go like this, they smile like this, they frown there, right? They don't know what faces that they're making. You smile at a child, and the child smiles back at you. Why in the world does that work, right? Why does that work, right? If you make a face at a child, it doesn't go back to you, right? You smile at a child, he smiles back. Why does it work? Because people naturally, right? Happiness is expressed naturally in a person's face, naturally, even a little child. But if you smile first, then you cause an automatic good reaction in other people. And before that, they weren't smiling. The same thing when you go to a place where no one's smiling and you have a positive attitude about the place, how do you say, contagious? And I say, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles at you. That used to be a song. Right? Same thing, not just if you smile physically, even if you say positive words and you're genuine about it. You're not saying it that you want someone to donate money. You say positive words, you do positive things. Sometimes it takes people a little while because people are not used to positivity, especially from strangers. But if they sense something is genuine and you're not tricking people, you don't want something from them, then a good thing that you do, no matter what, it has an effect. That's the point. No matter, and it changes. You go to a place which is miserable and you are positive, it makes one more person positive. And that makes that two, now you have two positives, right? That helps another person. It's our job to transform. That's called dira b'tachtonim, to make a dwelling in the lower worlds. Lower worlds means place where people are miserable. You aren't miserable. Places where people are angry, you aren't angry. A person where people are depressed, you aren't depressed, etc. Means that the Jewish people do the service of God and make here the land of Israel complete. And they get accustomed. They accustom themselves to that the world, the way it should be, that God is revealed, good is revealed everywhere. By means of this, we will enter immediately in the future redemption in dancing. All of us will go dancing to the land of Israel. Natul will take a part in the dividing of the land of Israel in the future. And then it won't be just a 12. It says that Levi will also get a part, to 13 parts, by means of God himself. Kodesh Baruch Hu mechalek lehem l'torah. So he will divide the land himself, and then the land of Israel will spread out to all of the lands of the world. The whole world will see that there's one God, and that same God that's creating the Jews is creating them, and the same God that's making Israel holy will make the whole world holy. Not the same holiness as Israel, but holy. And it all depends on us doing one more good deed, one more good word, force yourself, or even one more good thought. We'll be dancing with Moshiach now. Okay, now let us do the Yom Yom, 2 Yom Yoms.